Let's start with Brandin Podziemski. This last week, this 3-game stretch of him, 25, I mean, his numbers are insane, right? And the mid-range, the in-between game. I mean, first and foremost, and like I know I've said this in the breakdowns, is like when they drafted him out of Santa Clara, a big part of the evaluation was like, no, this kid is a 40% three-point shooter. And, it's taken him a while to find that consistency. I've banged that drum about leaving the release, not having that snake bite release. And you're seeing him leave it every time. He's letting everybody know he's knocking that down, right? With confidence from three. So that's first and foremost when you're I won't call him an undersized guard, right? But when you're a guard, when you're a smaller guard, you have to be able to shoot the three in screen actions and whatnot. But that in-between mid-range game that's opening up for him now, because you can't go under. He's pulling and popping, and he's not going to finish above the rim or be this dynamic guy at the rim necessarily, but he needed that mid-range game. And initially, he would get to the nail, right? And he would kind of come to a stop, and he would almost try to take like a set shot. And it didn't seem like he wanted to elevate off 2 feet. And in that midi game, unless you're Dirk, you're KD, you're like a big where you can kind of just lean and shoot it, you've got to pop off 2 feet to get elevation. And it's even a different release in the sense of the ball. If you shoot it like at your chin, if that's where your release is, not that that's where PODZ exactly is, but at that midi, the ball has to go, your release has to higher to get the touch on the ball because you're using all legs to get there and the angle, the trajectory of where it's at. And all of a sudden, he's popping off the floor with 2 feet. You see how much elevation he's getting, and he's got that high, soft release, and he's just, oozing with confidence. And this was part of the bet on Brandin Podziemski coming out, right? And I was skeptical initially that physically he could hang. I saw how good of a basketball player he was. I was like, I don't know physically, obviously a white kid and, was 6'4", can he hang athletically? But once I saw that he could, and I saw that right away in Summer League, I remember someone was like, hey, someone was trying to troll me. They were like, I was in Sacramento. I was at the Sacramento Classic. He's only 6'1". I was like, oh my goodness, like no way. And then I went out to Vegas and I was like, oh no, he's big enough. He's physical enough. He's got enough pop athletically. But part of the bet was his character, who he is. And that brash, borderline cockiness that rubbed a lot of Dub Nation the wrong way is the same reason we're seeing him take this leap. It's a fine line. And yes, they overstepped in the expectations this year, but they did it because they knew Brandon eventually could handle it. Right? There was that stumbling in the beginning, the sophomore slump and all that, but you don't lean into James Wiseman like that. Hell, they don't even speak of Kuminga they didn't speak of Kuminga like that in any offseason or Moses. Internally, it's his character as well, and that was part of the bet. And now, we're going to need him to have another big night tonight because I think Houston is going to try to take away Steph. I mean, I know everyone tries to take away Steph, but when you look at what they can do defensively and how their bigs can switch, maybe we play. And now if they're going to play Şengün 30-plus minutes, then maybe it won't be possible. But I imagine Ime and this Rockets team is going to be like, no, we're not letting Steph beat us. I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. And so we're going to need, more offense from the others tonight in this Houston matchup. I don't think Steph's going to be able to 40 ball this Houston defense. He'll get his 20, 25 points, but it's not going to be, I don't think they're going to let him go crazy like we've seen in this last week. But yeah, man, PODZ taking a little victory lap on my boy here because I know I get the skepticism and I understand where it rubbed people wrong, but I was pretty confident he was going to figure it out in just in the nick of time, right? Just at the right time. He's figuring it out and he's becoming this offensive weapon. And I think the key is the mid-range now, that in-between game, because that was what was frustrating, right? Again, okay, he typically made the threes, the open ones, right? But it was like handling the ball. Once he got downhill, he didn't have a lot of options. And now that in-between game is opening up for him, it's a problem. What are you going to play, drop on him? I don't know. So super exciting for PODZ to take the leap headed into the playoffs.